Okay, so now let's do some exercise together um, to see if you guys understood what we did the last 3 days. This is basically a review, so I hope you all to answer with me, to pay attention, and to do it at the same time. So let's do the first exercise. Let's do 7x cubed. Write it in your journal, your notebook. 7x cubed minus 21x squared minus 70x. 7x cubed minus 21x squared minus 70x. Let's start with the first step. What is the first step? Who can tell me? We have to see if there is any GCF, greatest common factor, between those three numbers. If there is a common factor, yes, 7x. So let's use color. Let's use one color to write the GCF. 7x. That's the GCF, greatest common factor. So now let's factor it out. How do we factor it out? The greatest common factor. The greatest common factor, it goes outside the parentheses, 7x, and then parentheses. What do we do with the first number? X squared, and then minus 3x, and then minus 10. Good. Now we did the first step. We factored out the first. We factored out the greatest common factor. Let's go to step 2. Let's look at the parentheses. If that is a binomial or trinomial. Trinomial. What coefficient is that? Coefficient, the number. If there is a number in the first number first. So x squared, it's by itself, but it has another number. It's by itself, so the coefficient is 1. So because it's a trinomial and the coefficient is 1, what we do? FOIL. We do undo FOIL. So how do we do that? We leave out the 7x, the GCF, we leave it out. Good. And then we make two parentheses with one x in each parenthesis. Why 1x in each parenthesis? Because x, the first x, is squared. So that means that it goes 1x in each parenthesis. And then, what we do next? We have to look for one number that we add or subtract, sum or difference, that is equal to 10, and if we add it or subtract it, it would be equal to -3. What factors can be? 1 times 10? No, because if we add or subtract, 10 minus 1 is 9, and if we add 10 plus 1 is 11. It's not equal to -3. What number? 2 times 5? If we add 10 minus 2 times 5. We have 5 plus 2 is equal to 7. But if we have 2 minus 5 is equal to -3, so we can use 2 and 5. So in one parenthesis we put 2, let's write 2, and in the other one we have 5. Now the symbols. Because the middle number is -3, because it's negative, minus 3, that means that one parenthesis goes in negative and one parenthesis goes in positive. So which parenthesis goes in negative? The parenthesis where number 5 is. Why? Because number 5 is bigger than 2. And if we subtract -5, if we subtract -5 minus 2 would be -3. So we have 7x, the first parenthesis x plus 2, and the second parenthesis x minus 5. Now let's do step 3. Is the expression factored completely? Yes. Why yes? Because we can factor anymore. That's completely factored. So let's check. We have 7x, and then let's factor the step before. Let's put it together. So x times x is equal to what? X squared. X times -5 is equal to -5x. 2 times x is equal to plus 2x. And positive 2 times -5 is equal to -10. Good. Now, next, the numbers with the same variable. Can we subtract or add? Can we add or subtract the numbers with the same variable? Yes. So inside the parentheses we have x squared. Can we add or subtract x squared to something else? No. Why? Because x is squared, so we leave x squared. -5x plus 2x. Can we add it or subtract it? Yes. Why? Because -5x plus 2x has the same variable, that is x, and both are the same. Any of those are x squared or x cubed. Just because they are of the power of 1, we can use them. We can add or subtract it. So minus -5x plus 2x is equal to -3x. And then we have -10 minus 10. Now we multiply 7x. After we complete the parentheses, we multiply 7x for each number inside the parentheses. So 7x times x squared, 7x cubed. 7x times -3x, 7x minus times -3x, -21x squared. 7x times -10, -70x. Is that the same equation that we have above? Yes. So we got it. That's the step 3. So now let's do another example. Let's do 24y squared minus 150. 24y squared minus 150. Step 1, is there any GCF? Yes, what number it is? Number 6. So in another color, let's write right next to the equation, to the polynomial, the GCF. Number 6. Okay, so let's factor it out, the GCF. So we put out 6, and then inside the parentheses we put 4 by 4, because 6 times 4 is 24, and then we put y squared. And then we have 150. What is the factor to 6? What number you multiply times 6 that it goes to 150? 25. So minus 25. Now we factor it out. 6 parentheses 4y squared minus 25. Let's do step 2. In the parentheses, it is a binomial or a trinomial? Binomial. Perfect. It is a sum or a difference? It is a sum. A sum of what? Let's look at the numbers. Sum of what? Sum of squares. Good. So because it is a sum of square, what we do? Let's factor it. Good. So we leave the 6 outside, and then we make a parenthesis. And inside the parenthesis, which one is the square of 2? The square of 4. 2. So we have 2y parenthesis what? Square y. Because we factor the 4 and the y, so we keep the 2, the square, we keep the. Then we have minus, which one is the square of 25? The square root of 25. 5. So we put a 5. Parenthesis. 5 squared. We leave 5 squared. Now we conjugate, we product as a conjugate. So what we do next? We leave the 6 outside, and we make 2 parentheses. 2 pairs of parentheses. So because 2y is a square, we put 2y in one parenthesis and 2y in another parenthesis, right? And then 5 is a square too, so we put 1 5 in one parenthesis and 1 5 in the other parenthesis. Now, what symbol it goes inside the parentheses? One goes negative and one goes positive. Why? Because it's negative 25. And because it's negative 25, one it goes negative and one it goes positive. So because both parentheses have the same numbers, you can put minus or positive in whatever you want. So let's do first negative and then positive. Okay, now let's do step 3. Let's check. Is this factored completely? Yes. Why? Because we can't factor it anymore. That's the last part, so let's check it out. We have 6 outside, and then 2y times 2y is what? 4y squared, right? And then 5 times 5, we have 25. Minus 25. Now we multiply number 6, the GCF, by each number inside the parentheses. 6 times 4y squared, 24y squared. 6 times negative 25, negative 150. Good job. Is that the number that we have above? Is that the polynomial that we wanted to factor it? Yes, so that means that we factor it completely. Cortalo.